all of it, in regard to the miracle that we intend to perform, we hope, don't we, in the conversion of our identity with ourselves. Shall we join with each other here? May I come with you now in this organization of our time form? Here. The idea, look with me. Here, look. There, very good. Here, look. The idea that you intend to make access of the possibility of the physical mind conversion of your body formulation in the momentary realization, come on now, that you have been successful at altering your idea of the physicality of your body into what you want to see, in the idea that since you are in already cognition of yourself as this body form, okay, using this Course in Miracles. Thank you for that. Did it begin to work? Did you begin to have that experience of the first 50 lessons, where suddenly right in the middle of the idea of the repetition of your mind, you had an experience? You stay with me with this? I'm very much aware that in this last sequence of time, you have begun to use a reference of yourself that would be idiomatically evident to you in the process of the recognition of the particulars of your own mind, which is what I'm attempting to do. I am called the master teacher, master being teacher, in the idea of the necessity for my individual conversion, of the formulation of what appears to be my conscious effort to stay informed with you about the practice of our mind together, in the idea that we use the term prayer, okay? Because of the continuation going on in our mind, we are actually at any moment having another experience of where we are in that time episode. We're going to use a particular term for the next 12 minutes here in our efforts. And we're going to be teaching directly from the idea of the workbook of a course in the performances of lesson 67, lesson 68, and lesson 69. 67 is going to say all of the power of the light of the universe is in my mind. And all of that power is what I want to exercise in the particulars of the description of myself, in with the performance of myself, in the idea, okay, of the observation of myself in space-time. Okay, somehow, will you allow me then to perform this act of teaching with you? Here, for some reason, it seems like I'm in the mysteries of outer space. Do you see that? The idea, for example, that you are perfectly aware in your consciousness identity of yourself about the vital statistics that you have been asked to observe in what appears to be separate from your own consciousness state. Yet the observation of them in your own consciousness state, here we are, this one is entitled The Weird Cosmos of Yourself, okay? Suppose that we entered into this and for some reason you're going to begin to watch our association with ourself, and you're asked to describe what evidence there is now within the idea, will you say to me light?
Light.
Yeah, within the idea of light. I'm going to try this with you. Within the idea of the factoring of the reflection of light that you're receiving at this time, in my attempt to alter the idea of your association with yourself, there's a performance in which you have recognized a variance in the idea of the particulars of your mind, based on a determination on your part that while you appear to be conscious within your identity of your body, your actual consciousness obviously has nothing to do with what appears to be the universe out there. Here's 4 minutes of vital statistics that are the latest evidence of what this little aggregation of space-time appears to be in the reflected gathering of our light formulation in what we want to see about each other. In the progress we are making, in the idea that that alteration of ourself is going to be available to us on a continuing basis, very beautifully done, very simply because we've decided to use the power that is inherent in us by the simple perspective that there must be something besides this containment of time. Here's the evidence of the latest science idea about what we are here. Listen. Here you are, vital statistics. We're about 13.7 thousand million years old. Composition. 0.4% glowing matter like stars. Look, 3.6% other familiar matter, such as dark gas and solid objects, including planets and other formulations of mass density. 23% cold dark matter of exotic particles, detectable only by their collective gravity, but otherwise invisible so far. You ready? And 73% a thinly spread force field that we call dark energy. What is our geometry? You listening? The universe is perfectly flat. Once more, the universe is perfectly flat. Old notions that Euclidean geometry breaks down at larger distances now looks wrong. Here's the size. Unknown, but vast, and as other measurements had implied, accelerating outward after slowing its expansion for its first 1,000 million years or so. And here I am with you. And the idea of a weird aggregation going on in your mind in a present condition of the idea of mind training, which is nothing obviously but the idea, since you are making decisions about yourself in continuing observation with using geometry, for example. Look with me, that whatever relative distance there is between you and I in the aggregation of our body form can only be our idea about the time episode in which we find ourselves, along with, look, say to me, space.
Space.
Yeah. The consciousness identity that you are utilizing in the factoring of your attempt to gain a vision, a new idea about yourself in that correspondence. Allow you to observe objectively, with me, what appears to be another association of time form that is not within your scope of the idea of the consciousness that you see in the evidence of your physical identity. Are you with me with this? In other words, we're looking at the idea of the presumption that we're going to, just for this moment, if you'll practice with me from the science evidence, view the universe is absolutely flat. Could you do that with me? Here, look with me. What I'm going to offer you, if I set up a parameter of time identity, is the idea that the reflection of light that I'm going to get in my perspective of what I want to see will only be indications of ideas of holograms of light in evidence of particulars of my continuing demonstration that there are alternatives within